Hey everybody! This is Death by D4, bringing you a quick news update for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. There's a lot to go over, so be sure to subscribe and let's dive right on in. With the release of D&D's latest adventure module, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, we've gained access to 3 new wizard spells. First up, we've got Frost Fingers, which is a first level evocation spell. As an action, you target all creatures within a 15-foot cone in front of you and force them to succeed on a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d8 cold damage, and on a successful save, that damage is then reduced by half. Its power also increases with the spell slot's level, gaining 1d8 per additional level. In a sense, this spell is basically the cold damaging version of Burning Hands, which is already a pretty decent spell to begin with. Honestly, that's really all I can say about it. It's just a good and solid spell overall. However, what I will say about it is that I'm terribly disappointed by the fact that this is exclusively a spell to wizards. I mean, come on. Are you really going to tell me that a sorcerer couldn't cast this spell too? Honestly, that just feels like a bit of an oversight to me. Anyway, next up we've got Create Magen, which is a 7th level transmutation spell. After spending 1 hour, this spell then creates for you an obedient Magen, which will last until destroyed. This spell requires some costly material components, some of which are consumed upon casting it, and, as a result of you casting the spell, your hit point maximum will then be decreased by an amount equal to the Magen CR, a reduction that can only be undone by the use of a wish spell. Well, though there aren't too many options available to you in terms of which Magen you can create, the good news is that they're all pretty useful overall. The Hypnos Magen can deal psychic damage and cast Suggestion. The Demos Magen is well suited to frontlining in combat, and the Galvan Magen can utilize powerful lightning magic. However, since traditional healing magic has no effect on construct creatures, you'll likely find that keeping them alive during combat will be rather difficult. That said, once you gain access to Wish, the limitations of the spell become a lot less restrictive overall, especially since you can then use Wish in order to cast the spell to begin with, circumnavigating its material component cost. So, yeah, if you find yourself with infinite free time at that point, then feel free to make yourself your own venerable army of Magen. Sure, it'll take you quite a while, but it'll definitely be a fun way to throw some shade towards that necromancer in your party. And finally, we've got Blade of Disaster, which is a 9th level conjuration spell. As a bonus action, you summon a blade-shaped planar rift that lasts for up to 1 minute as long as you maintain concentration on the spell. The blade can make 2 melee spell attacks against targets within 5 feet of it, dealing 4d12 force damage on a hit, or, if it crits on a natural 18 or higher, a staggering 12d12 force damage. On your following turns, you can then use your bonus action to move the blade up to 30 feet before it attacks again, and as a part of its movement, it can even pass through any barriers such as a wall of force. Wow! Now this is definitely worthy of being a 9th level spell. After all, being able to summon a wicked blade of planar energy is just insanely cool, and its potential damage output is actually pretty respectable overall. Sure, having to move the blade around during battle could be a bit of a pain for you, but at the very least it can just phase through any barrier impeding it. That and, if you happen to be a conjuration wizard, then your concentration on it can never be broken, which is just awesome in general. Definitely a super fun spell to have overall, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to implementing at my table. And that's it. If you liked the video, then be sure to subscribe and let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you'd like to have the chance to play D&D with me, then feel free to join my Discord server, and consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video.